Hey guys, it's been a couple of weeks since my last video at the track, and as you remember I had a few problems with the boost level. It appears that there was a boost leak somewhere, so I've gone and tried to figure out where it is. So the first place I started is with my boost leak tester. So what this is basically just a pipe that sits on the end of the intake system, and then you pressurize it with a compressor and you get an idea of where the leak is. So what I did first is I put this baby here. As you can see, it's connected directly up to the inlet manifold at the moment, but where I started I had it connected to the pipe that comes out of the turbo here. So I had it connected here, and I progressively just went down through the system, through the intake pipes that are in the boot, and tried to figure out where the leak was. And when I put the compressor on the end of this, it did not compress at all. There was just, it just didn't compress. So there was obviously a big leak somewhere. So where I figured out it is once I finally put this here onto the intake manifold, and it still didn't pressurize at all. And then I figured out, well, there can only be a couple of places where it can be leaking, and one could be the intake manifold, or the throttle body, of course, and also something internal to the engine. So before going to the point of testing compression and all that kind of thing, and actually I didn't really want to do that because the car was actually running okay. So generally when you've lost compression in one of the cylinders, the engine doesn't run properly. So I was pretty sure it wasn't that. So I went hunting the intake manifold and the throttle body to find out where the leak was. And when I put pressure into the system and feeling around with my hand, I found that there was a leak at the bottom of the intake manifold plenum. So I'm assuming where it's welded, the intake pipes are welded onto the plenum. That's where the leak is. There's probably a big crack there or a hole or whatever. So what we're going to do today, we're going to take the intake manifold off and have a look and see where the problem is. Now the first place to start is to get rid of all this stuff to get it out of the way. Now I should probably get this strut brace off, it'll be in the way because it's annoying. Get rid of that. It's nothing worse than having a car with a mixture of imperial and metric fasteners in it. I also have a Holden Commodore, and because it's got an American engine in it, the engine's all imperial and the body's all metric. It sucks. Just one or the other is the best solution. I got a good idea. How about we just do metric for every country in the whole world, not just 3 countries? 1 large country and 2 very small countries. Everyone else uses metric. It's quite simple. Let's just all use metric and everyone will be happy. Alright, that's off. Now I need to get these hoses off the intake manifold. And I can actually remove the intake manifold without taking the fuel rail out. I have done it once before. It's a little bit tricky, but I will take the fuel rail out. It just makes it a little bit easier. And it's not too bad putting it back in. It's pretty easy. It's aftermarket. The original one is a lot harder to work on than these aftermarket parts. So yeah, let's get cracking. Okay, the vacuum hoses are off. Now to take the rail out. just going to unclip the injectors. I don't know how some mechanics do this. I've got quite small fingers and even I struggle sometimes. I don't know how the guys with big sausage fingers work on such small things. Now to get the fuel rail off. Should be pretty easy. Hilarious. Now that I've got that rail out, just put that somewhere safe. Try hard not to drip fuel anywhere. Just put that over there on this towel. It'll be safe. Pretty much everything in an MR2 is 10mm. There is some 8mm. Mostly 10, 12, 14, 17 and 19mm. That's it. It's pretty good. So you don't have to pick up too many spanners when you're working on it. This particular manifold, with my aftermarket alternator bracket, it sits really close to the positive terminal on the alternator, like really close. It's got a rubber cap on it, but if I did touch the 12 volts from the alternator onto the inlet manifold, bang, wouldn't be good. Give me a bit of a fright, I think. So don't want that to happen. Just noticed there's a bolt missing from my cam cover. It's not leaking, but oops, that's race car for you. Shakes itself to pieces. You always got to be checking everything. Things come loose, all sorts of weird things go wrong. Doesn't matter how good you are at building the car, weird things happen. Okay, now that should come off, unless there's something in the way. Always seems to be, so anyway, let's see what happens. That looks like it's off. Let's get these gaskets out of the way because you can reuse them. Standard is best. Got a cable tie holding the wires on. There we go. I didn't want to come out. There we go. Now this should come out. Alright, now let's go and have a look and see where the crack is. Oh dear. I can see where it is. Whew. That's really not good. I'll do a close-up video in a moment, hang on. Okay, here's the manifold, it's out. And those of you with a keen eye will be able to see where the problem is. I saw it straight away. Let's have a close look at this. Yep, there's a reason why there was no boost. That is quite a big crack in that weld. I guess that must have been from the previous owner. I didn't do that one. So I was expecting it to be cracked here where it joins on, but clearly not. This looks like that that weld has been nowhere near strong enough, even though it seems to have been a bit of penetration into the material. It's just not strong enough. Just couldn't handle it. So that's why I got no boost at all. So I'm surprised that the car made any boost with this hole. So the turbo must have been working pretty hard. So what I'm going to do now, I'll take that inlet manifold off and I'll take that to my metalwork guy. He's an absolute legend, this guy. He does the best work, so I'll probably get him to weld some straps all the way around to stop that from happening again. But yeah, I really didn't expect that. Anyway, I'll keep you all up to date on the progress, and I've also got a brand new gearbox coming from Japan as well, so when that arrives I'll do an unboxing, because it's always good to open boxes with brand new things. But anyway, it's a bit of a shame, so I'll catch you all next time. See ya.